On today's Saturday news, a huge star leaves AEW.
Another star leaves AEW.
Stephanie Vaquer is going to appear at some WWE house shows in Mexico.
And a huge video game franchise announces a WWE crossover. Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? My name is Bill Chambers and joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling. But what have we got up first?
Well, first up, this huge star that we're talking about is Ric Flair. Yeah, so see what we did there? Yeah, Ric Flair is now seemingly done with AEW, and this also brings with it the apparent news that the partnership, the sponsorship with his energy drink company has like wound down, and isn't really going down with AEW anymore as well. So obviously, he had a bit of a brief run altogether. If you really look back on it, I think it started in October 2023? Yeah. So it's only been a couple of months, and now it looks like the Woo Energy deal that brought him to like AEW in the first place has just gone now. Because I think if you notice, if you like watched Dynamite and Collision over the last couple of weeks, couple of months, maybe they've not had as many Woo Energy cans and sponsorship things around anymore. Fightful first reported the latest developments that the company's got no future creative plans for Flair, and then Meltzer later confirmed this independently in the newsletter. He put, "Those who have pointed out no Woo Energy graphics on the screen of late, that is a smart observation, and unless something changes, it doesn't look like you'll be seeing that going forward. There was no explanation given, but unless something changes, it does look like that deal is over with." So yeah, he just goes on to talk about like his time in AEW. There was obviously a little bit of controversy when he did that weird promo on Rampage, and they got cut out of the Rampage, I believe. And then Flair was like, "Oh, if I'm embarrassing the company, I'll walk away," all that stuff. So it was all just a bit of a mess. He was involved in the Sting retirement last stretch as well, wasn't he? And I believe he was a Revolution, wasn't he? He got super kicked by the Young Bucks. It was just all a bit weird. So yeah, Flair's time now with AEW looks to be done, and it was a weird time. Probably good to see the back of it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I don't think this is any big loss for AEW, really. It was a really weird one. I kind of, I get it if it was something like Sting desperately wanted to do, like in the lead up to his last match and things, but overall it wasn't the best look for Flair or the company, really, I don't think. And sort of it wasn't that long off the back of the sort of Vice documentary, the Plane Ride from Hell stuff that all came out about Ric Flair's behaviour. So it was weirdly timed, and then weirdly sort of actioned when he was there, and then kind of he was there and then wasn't there, and then the Woo Energy thing hung around, and it was all a little bit strange. So I don't think it's any great loss, particularly for AEW. But I guess, Ric Flair's Ric Flair. He's probably going to crop up in wrestling somewhere else again. He is one of those people that will never, ever leave the business. So I'll have to wait and see what Ric Flair gets up to next, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but one other person that is also done with AEW is CJ Perry. She was talking to USA Today in an interview saying that her time with AEW has just finished. Now, she debuted in 2023 at All Out in September, but she's not been on TV since December 2023 when she kind of betrayed Andrade at World's End in that match against Miro. Now, she is free to sign anywhere. She doesn't have a no-compete or anything, apparently. And she says that she is focused on being a sort of an on-screen manager for someone. She even says that you could say that she wants to be the Paul Heyman. She also kind of compares AEW to WWE in the interview as well, saying that it's kind of hard to compare them both because they're so different. AEW is much more sports-driven, obviously, and she said it was great to see so many people get so many jobs there. But then she goes on to say that WWE is in her heart and soul, and she loves the drama, viewing it as, and I think someone might want a job at WWE, but she calls WWE the greatest franchise in the world. Now, she's obviously separated from Miro since, so there's sort of no ties to AEW over there at the minute. So it's going to be interesting to see what she does next. Obviously angling for a big managerial position somewhere, definitely in WWE, it looks like. And I'd be very interested to see CJ Perry in WWE, see what kind of character she can bring that maybe isn't Lana, maybe is something different, since it doesn't have the tie with Miro anymore. But yeah, and see what WWE can make of it, because I think sort of this Triple H era at least has sort of done wonders with the sort of Paul Heyman kind of managerial character, and there is loads more scope within WWE to have different managers for different people. So it'd be interesting to see what they could do with her over there.
Yeah, and I think she's always shown that she could be a hell of a mouthpiece. Like she can, like when she was like next to Rusev at the time, like in WWE in those early days, she was brilliant. She was fantastic. And then as the years rolled by, it always felt like they were just trying to recapture that in various like companies, and I think in AEW a lot of people were like, oh yeah, we're finally going to get that, but with this Miro character, it's like a full-on destroyer, and then it's obviously just, I don't know, like the real life situation must have had some kind of an influence on it. I'm just assuming there, but like that just didn't work out, and it is what it is. Like she is super talented, so I'd love to see her just drop into WWE, and just it's curious to see where she could fit in. Like who could she be a manager for in WWE right now? Would it just be an absolute destroyer? Would she be a manager of like one of the women on the roster that's maybe not the strongest talker? Like you could go down that route as well. So I'm curious. It definitely felt like she was angling. She definitely was a bit like, the best in the world.
The greatest place. It's so amazing. The greatest franchise in the world.
Shoot your shot, you know what I mean? Like, you only got one 100%. Career. Shameless. Just get that bag and just get out of there. Like, nothing wrong with that. So, yeah. And speaking of people who just, I don't want to say just got that bag and gone for it, but they've seen the opportunity to go to WWE and they've taken it, because why wouldn't you at this point? It is the hottest thing on planet Earth when it comes to wrestling right now. And Stephanie Vaquer obviously did that earlier this week. She officially signed with WWE, and WWE are not messing around. They've already thrown her into a couple of house shows that are going to be going down over the weekend, I believe. It is in Mexico, obviously, Mexico City and Monterrey. They're going to be going down these events. It was confirmed. WWE announced it. I think they put it on social media. So she's going to be there on Saturday in Mexico City and Sunday in Monterrey. And she was originally supposed to be in action at New Japan Pro Wrestling and CMLL's Fantasticamania. I'm going to go with Fantasticamania. So that was going to be on Saturday, but then those companies issued a statement saying she's not obviously going to be there because she's no longer with either company, so she can't be doing that. And she was stripped of her CMLL World Women's Championship and World Women's Tag Team Championship. And she's now just embarking on this next chapter, which is obviously the WWE chapter. Shawn Michaels took to Twitter, didn't he, over in the week, and he said like, oh, she's here, like we're going to bring you into like WWE now. I'm not sure, is she going to be like popping up in NXT? Is she going to be going straight to the main roster? We're not sure. Like, she smashed it in that Forbidden Door match against Mercedes Moné. I think that's a lot of people ignorant like myself who maybe hadn't really dove into all of her work in CMLL and like Mexico and all the rest of it, hadn't really, I don't know, we hadn't really experienced the full Vaquer, like all the rest of it, but seeing her in that match, I was like, oh my goodness, this is a superstar. Like she got more over than money in that match. Everyone was going nuts for her. Like she's just savage. Like I mean, she was doing that thing where like she got Mercedes Moné's head between her legs and like slammed it into the mat. I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, so she's gonna fit right in. She feels like something a little bit different for the roster as well. Like she is just a no nonsense like luchador brutalizer. So I could just see her coming in and just going on an absolute tear. That's how I'd book her. I'd be like, yeah, come in, dominate, get a belt, and do not like mess with Vaquer.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see how they use her. I think there's plenty of slots that you can put her in, whether it is going to be a bit of an NXT one to sort of get her used to sort of how WWE do things in American television, or whether they just slot her into like an LWO or something like that. Like there's a couple of groups there obviously that you could have her with, sort of have someone help her out with like promo things and stuff like that as she gets used to the sort of TV way of doing things with WWE. But wherever it is, I think she's going to be absolutely amazing. Obviously, throwing her right in at the Mexican house shows makes a hell of a lot of sense, because if you can shift a few more tickets and also like get her out there in front of a big crowd and film her to help like make some vignette packages and things for when you do debut her on TV, it makes all the sense in the world for WWE to get that.
I'm just thinking of combining two stories there. Maybe have CJ Perry as the manager and the mouthpiece for Vaquer for a little bit. Just throwing it out there. Two new faces just smashing through the WWE. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that.
Indeed. Yeah. But let us know down in the comments below what you want to see WWE do with Stephanie Vaquer and CJ Perry, should she sign with them. Yeah. Let us know. But finally, on the day's news, a huge video game franchise has come and knocking on WWE's door and announced a big crossover. It's going to be WWE X, I guess, Call of Duty Warzone. They are going to be a big part of Season 5 of Call of Duty Warzone. They put out like a teaser trailer that gives nothing away. It's really short and is just kind of a swoop on a ring, and then that's about it. And there's a note on it just saying WWE is bringing its best to the ring in Call of Duty Season 5 starting July 24th. The latest of a bunch of WWE sort of big video game franchise crossovers, like John Cena was in Battle Royale, and Becky Lynch and The Undertaker were in Rainbow Six Siege recently. So they are branching out into all of these things, trying to get their like WWE pop culture stuff as many places as you possibly can. But let us know if you're excited about WWE in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I don't mind this stuff in a weird way, because it's just like, get it out to as many people as possible. Like, I've got friends who play Warzone. Warzone was my lockdown game, I'll be honest. I did smash a little bit of Warzone in those dark days. Yeah, so a lot of my friends who are still playing that, they'd be like, what's this thing doing on my Call of Duty? And I'd be like, one of us. Like, I find it funny. Whatever WWE want to do with it, they can, yeah, just drop it into as many random franchises as possible. Have them in FIFA. Have The Undertaker as a playable football player in FIFA. I'd be well up for that.
Yeah, why not? Why not, indeed. But that is the news. Thank you very much for joining us. Also, I do need to say, before we leave, that I can finally announce that we are doing a live show in London, All In, right before All In. We're kind of partnering with Sweet Chin Disco, which is an All In after party that you can also go for. Tickets for that is available now. It's happening straight after All In. It's going on till 3 a.m. We'll be there, but there's also going to be a Prince Nana DJ set and a Max Caster sort of rap set as well, so that should be good fun.
And Phil's going to rap as well. Phil's going to go on stage and rap. He's going to.
I assume Wilbon will be doing the Nana dance though, so you'll get to see that. But we are also doing our own live show in the same venue. It's the Crystal Club. It's like 2 minutes walk away from Wembley. Ours starts at 12 p.m. and then there'll be like an extended sort of meet and greet and hang out with us, where you can just kind of grab some drinks before the show and hang out before you go over to All In and just kind of hang out with us for a while. So we'll be there till All In, well, just before All In starts, basically, when everyone wants to bugger off and go into Wembley Stadium. So tickets for that will be available next week, so watch this space for links and things like that. But yeah, get us booked in to start your All In right. But that is actually it. Click the video on the screen to continue your YouTube journey. Follow us over on Twitter. You can follow me at PhilMacChambers, and you can follow Gareth
at GMorgan04.
And have yourselves a bloody good day.
Bye-bye.